How's it going, Jim?
Oh, not too bad. You talked about it being hot in Texas. Well, it's hot in Michigan too. So
Wonderful.
you can probably see the burn on my receding hairline forehead here. So.
It seems to be hot almost all over the country right now. So let's talk about it. Big event coming up this weekend, July 5th, Dorr, Michigan. Where do we start with this? I mean, we've got 5 big classes coming in, 2 Grand National classes, and a whole lot of fun outside for the kids and for the adults too.
Exactly. This all started back in 2020. John Silsby is our president of Wolverine Pullers, and we kind of had a thought. There's a track that's a half mile across the street from my farm, and it's actually owned by Amanda Rhodes, and I rent her land, and I had asked her if we could have an NTPA pole there, and she says, sure. So that was the year of COVID. So we kind of did the heck with COVID type of event that we did. So competitors got together. We picked out, I think it was 3 classes that year, and I got a couple of food vendors in, and we had an event, and I had the sheriff deputy stop by and say, you're going to get shut down. And I says, why? Well, you're going to have more than 100 people here. I says, okay, I can take care of that. So I came back home and got on that computer and printed up event 1 through event 10. So I laminated them babies, put them around the fence, and we had 10 events. We could have 1,000 people there. And so that's how it all started, and it just went from there.
How long ago did it first get started, and how many years has it been going for?
Well, 2020. So this will be our 5th year.
5th year.
That was, like I said, 2020 was a year of COVID, and that's how it got started. And I had Wolverine to back me financially because I didn't want to stick my neck out for a purse of some sort all the way. I'll do all the work and everything and make it happen. I said, but I need somebody to back me here to be sanctioned by NTPA, to be safe, and, just like a normal event. Then after the first year, then my wife and I took it upon ourselves to take on and create the Dorr Summer Sizzler to what it is today. And last year we got, which is an extreme honor, for a pole that's in the middle of my hayfield across from the farm, to get regional pole of the year against 60 national events. And I'm up against some pretty heavy hitters.
Yeah.
And
to get regional pole of the year, that's huge.
Yep. I mean, I don't mean no offense to Super Nationals. I don't mean no offense to Grand Nationals, but there's only 3 Super National poles to go against. There's 10 Grand Nationals to go against, and there's 60 regional nationals. Yeah. And I was damn proud to get that, and we're going for it again this year. I'll be honest with you. We're stepping up our game, and we got more stuff on the line. I've had a lot of sponsors step up again with more support, and my sponsors are also my vendors that I use. So as you all know, being involved with sport, you become a glorified beggar. Yeah. to get people to help you. So, and that's what I considered myself up until now. And now I'm a promoter. So now I'm going to implement what I set out to do.
And to maintain that standard of excellence of being the regional national of the year, you got to back that with the entertainment. And seeing that you guys got 2 Grand National classes coming in with the light mods and the semis. The light mod class has been growing so much over the years.
Yes.
So I'm expecting to see 90% of the vehicles that we saw at Toma come right over to this. And I bet you'll end up with a pretty good class.
That is true. I talked to, I believe it was Tyler, his name was, at NTPA today. And there's 12, I think, that are pre-committed. I'm still going to use the word pre-committed because that's what it still kind of is. And they're all here. There's one guy hurt his motors. I'm not Austin Berry, I believe it is. Not sure if he'll make it or not.
Yep.
Offered parts to somebody. But we'll still have, and Joe showed him, he registered his tractor. So there'll be 11 to 12 light mods here. I got the word today there will be 8 super semis here.
That's a great class of semis.
I will have more super semis, from what I understand, in Dorr than Toma had.
Wow.
So, yeah, I mean,
that's pretty big.
And I think a reason is that I got to promote my Dorr Summer Sizzler special cup here, like the other broadcast does with the beer in it. But
yeah.
But anyways, I have a competitor, not a competitor, but a fellow past competitor, like I am, that came to me this year and said, I want to give you a substantial amount of money, but I want it all to go to the pullers. And it's for you to figure out how to do it. I said, oh, shit. What am I, excuse my language, this is going to be tough. So I said,
you haven't been on a podcast with Jason, so
okay.
Jason's 100 times worse.
Okay. So what I came up with, and it worked out pretty simply here. I got my spreadsheets right in front of me, but we're still going to run the event like a regional national A purse pull, but we're going to pay a pro national purse. So with that being said, for the 3 regional classes, they'll get a check from NTPA or WPI for the A purse, but they'll get a check from Dorr Summer Sizzler for the difference between the A and the pro national. So just say to win the A purse is $755. To win a pro national is $850, so they'll get a check for $95 from the Dorr Summer Sizzler. On top of that they don't show. You might as well be honest about it, because it's below the $500 mark. So that's for all the regional classes. Then what we did for the Grand National classes is that the light mods will get a 2-day hook purse because everybody bitches about a 1-day hook.
Yep.
Okay. Think about this a minute here. This is right out of the NTPA rule book. A one day hook on light mods is $2,000 to win. A 2-day hook is $2,260 to win both days. You're only gaining $130 to make 2 passes down the track. Yep. It's a no-brainer.
Yeah, exactly.
Why would you want to make two passes for $130?
Yeah.
So what we're doing is we're paying a 2-day purse. So I took that $2,260, and added that, so they'll get a 2-day purse for a 1-day hook.
And that's really the way to go. Pullers first mentality there. And I know they're running, I believe it's Region 2 minis you guys got there.
Yes.
And will you be out there competing with the rest of the guys? Or are you taking the helmet off for a weekend and promoting?
No, I no longer have a mini. I sold that 3 years ago, or I quit 3 years ago.
Look how good I am on times.
Yeah. Well, it got to be the point where I'm 60 years old and trying to find somebody to go with me to every event on the region or whatever that understood what I wanted to do, and we're on the same page. I couldn't find nobody.
Yeah.
And borrow from somebody else's team to start me and this and that. It just sucked. So I just decided to become a promoter and focus on this event and do that. But with that being said, I will be on a mini rod this Saturday.
Okay. Well, that's definitely something. You heard it here first, folks.
Yep, it's true. I will be on one of David Lacey's tractors.
Okay. And David's a great guy.
Yep, him and his dad, Joe, are special people to me. And we had an incident when NTPA was down in Florida. We had to go up to, I believe it was South Carolina that year or Georgia. And we had an incident where my son got ran over by my mini rod. A guy backed into my tractor and kept pushing it and drove over Tyler. And pocked a hole in my fuel tank and everything. And Joe and David and the whole class said, put us to last. We got to help Jim and Tyler get back on the track.
Yeah.
So we went back to the trailer and everybody wrenched on my tractor. And we made it to the track and we spun holes. And from that day on, my whole world changed. It said this is a class that the people are pretty badass. You know, they're there to help you. They want to beat you on the track, but they're to help you get there too.
Yeah. That's my favorite thing about the mini division is everyone's going to help each other, to whether it's helping someone with spare parts or just wrenching. Heck, we saw the whole mini class come together and we swapped a supercharger between Slaw's tractors this year.
Oh yeah. Yep.
So whether it's one thing or another, that's the thing with pulling is the family and everyone's out to help each other.
Very much so. And also that, you know, being involved with pulling my whole life, you know, I've been pulling tractors since 1988, except for the last 3 years. But I've gained a lot of respect for people in other divisions. I became friends with people in other divisions. And with that being said, we've got the Holmans coming up. Robbie Foster's coming. Mick Broughton, they're all coming here to Dorr. Scott Phillips, Jason Bramer, we're going to have dang near a Grand National class of four-wheel drives here too. It just blows my mind that these guys are coming to support us. It's overwhelming to me, and it means a lot.
So gates open at 2, live music at 4, pulling starts promptly at 6.
Yep.
I haven't gotten to look at the track, but track is right there in Dorr, Michigan. And 7 and under's free, $20 for everyone north of that. And it's going to be a good show all the way around. Big Iron coming in. And then also the holy cow, the Grand National classes are going to be a show inside of itself.
Exactly.
So what is going on to help get the event ready for this weekend? How's the track coming along? How's the weather looking?
All week it's going to be dry. They're calling for rain at 8:00 on Saturday. So with that being said, I have my class order set. I do it, and I feel it's important to do that ahead of time. I've always said that since I've been pulling. Let us know how we're going to run the class order before we get there. So as of right now, it's minis, super farms, light mods, 4x4, and semi. But in case of inclement weather, I will run it by the rule book, which states that Grand Nationals do come first.
Yep.
So light mods will be first, semis will be second, and then we'll start with the minis and go from there on down. But I've been out there all weekend, mowing grass, watering grass. I got a big sprinkler, traveler sprinkler, has not shut off for a week. Trying to get everything greened up. Watered the track tonight. I'll be working the track every day all week, putting water in it, sealing it over, putting water, sealing over. I have plastic to cover it if there's a rain threat. Bleachers are coming in, portable bleachers. Let's see. Basically, everything day by day will be coming into place. And one cool thing we got this year, I know I'm probably going to run out of time here on you, but I got support from every division to be in our Dorr parade on Friday. So I have one vehicle from every class, and I like to give them guys and gals a shout out right here online. Art Mendez with a Mini is providing his. Jason Bramer is bringing his 4x4 up for the parade. Carrie Feiss is bringing her. Will have her mod in the parade. Ben Gordon will have the super semi in the parade, and John Silsby's super farm will be in the parade. And our local record companies will have them on their flatbeds, except for Ben Gordon's semi. He's going to take that through himself. But to advertise, there's about 30,000 people in Dorr that day for the parade to watch. Okay. So yeah, I'm just excited, and me and my family are proud to do this for the community, and looking forward to it every year, even though I get stressed out big time. But
yeah,
when it's over, I have a big sigh of relief.
Yeah, and I know I was reading through some stuff on Facebook. You mentioned that bleacher area might be a little bit. So if you are coming, I believe there will be some lawn chair seating, bring a blanket, and just be prepared, because there's going to be a ton of people.
Yeah, we have bleacher seating. I ordered 2 more sets that will seat 600 now on top of what I got coming in. So bleacher seats for about 2,300 people, 2,200 people. But we have lawn sitting in front of it. The grass is just beautiful green now, and instead of like a 2% slope going away from the track. So you're sitting uphill, going a little bit uphill, going away.
Mm-hmm.
Several food vendors, kids games. I want to mention that. I got bouncy houses that are free to the kids. I have a mini excavator, an actual mini excavator coming in from AIS Equipment. The kids can get on and actually run a hydraulic mini excavator and dig holes and move dirt with it. I mean, adults, whatever. I mean, I seen Tim Ray drunk jump in a bouncy house that night, one night there too, and tip it over. So everybody has fun with that stuff, and we provide it all free for the kids, because I know what it's like to have a child that you want to go away and see an event. And your child says, Daddy, I want to go home. Well, if they have things to do, that's for them. You get to enjoy the show. So that's my philosophy behind it, and it has been working. So I'm going to stick with it. So.
Yep. So when are gates opening for pullers, if they're planning on coming in the night before, and what's some other festivities going on? Because I mean, after all, it is the 4th of July.
Yeah. Dorr has, like I said, Dorr has the parade on the 4th. They have a carnival, a small carnival downtown Dorr on Friday. Their fireworks are Friday night at dusk, of course, which is about 10 o'clock, 10:15. They have fireworks. I have gate staff, which one's an NTPA tech official, Artie Sias, and my neighbor Stanley Snyder run the gate for the competitors, and we have marked out parking spots. So you will be parked in a designated parking spot area, because I am limited on space. I have room for about 60 vehicles. So that's why I kind of choose my classes and what I get in numbers to make everybody fit in the space that I have. And I did talk to a neighboring farmer across the street, which ain't very far away, but like 500 feet from the entrance to the track. But he did allow us to park some haulers there if we have to, if we run out of space at our event. So I'm already being proactive instead of reactive on that. But there's plenty of parking for spectators, plenty of parking for them.
So looking at it as a whole, I wish I could make the event, honestly, because it's looking to be shaping up to be one of the bigger national, and we'll call it regional, but national events of the year, especially the only event to have 2 Grand National tractor truck classes in the state of Michigan.
Correct. So, and with that being said, I did sign the Galaxy Tour contract with NTPA, WPI, to extend my relationship with them through 2020. I believe it's 2028. So
this event's guaranteed to come on and keep going for at least the foreseeable future.
Yep, that's how far the contract went out, and I signed the contract with them to guarantee that I can get the Grand National, at least a couple Grand National classes, and I know it's going to be hard to convince people of one-day hooks. I understand, but when I read you the numbers and what we're doing things to compensate for that. They talk about mileage. Shouldn't really matter, because you're getting paid a 2-day hook. So,
yeah. So everyone, Jim with the Dorr Summer Sizzler, if you have any questions, drop them and we'll have Jim get them answered for you. But looking at the event as a whole, I mean, how big of a group of people does it take to put on this event?
Oh, I have 10 gate people that come in and volunteer their time. I hire 10 security personnel from DK Security to help with parking and stuff. I have Wayland High School bands that take care of parking for me. Sheriff's Department provides 4 people to help with this, and friends and family. I'd say we've got 40 to 50 people involved that are basically volunteering their time, except for the security and the police department that we have to compensate them to come out and work. But it's quite a daunting task. And like I said, I'm dedicated to it. I love it. And I love to provide for the community. It's not about Jim Shaindorf. It's not about us. It's about providing entertainment for our community. A place to go and have fun with your friends and family.
And if you can't make it, it's going to be broadcasted around the world right there on Full Pull Live. And that's a pretty big thing inside of itself, getting that.
Yes. Yep.
So that's one thing I'll be watching, and I can't wait to see it. So more for the fan side of it, food will be on the grounds, and what's that looking like? Are you guys having concessions, food trucks?
Yes, we have Doug's Backyard Barbecue has different barbecued items. We have elephant ears, French fries, lemonade, tacos, ice cream, Kona ice, a hamburger wagon. We have quite a few vendors on site for that. As far as fans go, another cool thing that we do is that I buy these little ears of corn, foam ears of corn, and say Dorr Summer Sizzler on them. And I have the competitors sign their name or their vehicle on them. There's 150 of them in the box. So they put them on just one. Some won't have anything on them. We mix them all up. We have the competitors come out on the track and we throw them out to the crowd. And just say Jason Schultz is pulling his tractor and he wins his class. Okay, so if Jason wins and you got his ear of corn, you come up to the announcer stand and you get a $100 bill.
Oh, wow.
And second place fan, if Jim Shaindorf gets second, you get a $50 bill. And third place competitor, that fan gets a $20 bill. So we involve the fans, plus we have a ton of giveaways. Matt McNault is my announcer that's going to be working the crowd. Dan Mayer is going to be, the guy at the table. And Jason will be Jason out running around flapping his top somewhere, So and, I love the guy. But anyways, and what I told Jason, I wanted to have a lot of behind the scenes stuff, and giving away tons of items to kids. To me, it's about the kids. Getting the kids involved in getting them coming, getting them back into the sport, get them off their iPads, get them off their phones, and enjoy the show. And try to pay attention. We have a 50-50 or a 50-25-25 that we do, and some other cool things are going to happen pre-show that I don't want to talk about now because I want it to be a surprise. So, yep. And the music is from the Williams Trio. It's 2 brothers and a son. They play different venues, the type of music, but they're from a world-renowned group that's from our area called the Williams family. They're a bluegrass group. And they played in Nashville. They played everywhere. And it's a part of that family that's going to be just picking and grinning basically for an hour or so before the show, free entertainment for folks to enjoy. So
we're going to try to keep you on here a little bit while we're waiting for Nathan Frey to hop on. But
that's fine.
What do you got? Any bold predictions coming in for this weekend on who we're going to see up on the podium? Or
I hope it's me. I told David, I said, all I care is I want to kick your ass. That's all I care about. Set the tractor up. So.
Yeah. You better put the good setup in it, basically.
And I think there's going to be another bet going on out there between Michael Pitch, which runs the Wolverine Deer for 20 seats sometimes. And I haul dirt and asphalt with him in the summer too. I also haul asphalt in between farming.
Yep.
And my cousin Jody Shaendorf, which is driving a new super farm this year that was built by Don Slama for my cousin John, which is Jody's brother. And Jody will be driving that tractor in Dorr. And I think there's going to be a little competition between those two, between the red and the, between Jody and Mike. I ain't sure what kind of bet they got going on, but I don't think it's not like shaving your legs or nothing them other guys do. But I think they got some type of bet going on with that. And let's see, what else do I got going on? If you come Friday night, we are having pizza for whoever's there at about 9 o'clock or so, 8:30, 9 o'clock. We're going to call my people around. We're going to go get pizza for whoever's there. Dan Nearpass from Nearpass Polling, great friend of mine. They come up and they help out. He's going to be making margaritas. And I get some sand from out back and I make a little beach out there, put my little tiki things out there. We have a little beach party and have pizza and margaritas at a beach party with my tiki torches the night before.
Gosh.
And then anybody that's there the night before or Saturday morning, Dan's also, he loves to cook, by the way. Danny, we go camping together. We go away together to polls and he's always cooking. So just go to Dan's trailer if you want to eat. And so he'll be cooking pancakes and sausages Saturday morning for whoever's there Saturday morning too. But
that's always great. Well, who do you got to thank for this weekend? Sponsors, family, friends?
Man, there's so many. I mean, on that list, if you could bring that back up of the flyer, if we could bring that back up, please. So everybody on the right-hand side there, I don't call them, one thing I want to mention, I don't call them sponsors. They're partners.
Partners.
Yeah, exactly. Because not only am I trying to help promote their business, they're promoting my event or I got to keep saying that, our event.
Our event.
Yep. So without those people and businesses on that list, Dorr Summer Sizzler would not happen. I just want to be very transparent here of how much it really costs to put this event on. I have no infrastructure permanent at this facility. Everything has to be brought in. Porta-johns, bleachers, everything that has to be brought in, plus the purse money. This show cost me close to $70,000 to put on. And without that list of people, which are friends, family, and people I do business with, this would not happen. Period. You cannot get enough people through that gate at $20 to even come close to paying for this show. So I owe everything to these generous people that help put this on. Otherwise, it wouldn't happen. It's plain and simple. It would not happen.
Yep.
So if everybody's got a chance to look at that, and I sent out a letter to every one of them with their wristbands, because we give them wristbands, VIP wristbands to eat with us at our polar meal and stuff. And with that being said, I asked them to at least send one person from their company to the drivers' meeting so they can be recognized, not individually, but as a group. So everybody can see that it took this many people to donate to our cause to make this happen. So, and like I said, without them, it wouldn't happen.
Yeah. Well, that's great to see. So, folks, big event going on 4th of July weekend. Just go up there and make a weekend out of it. Fireworks, tractor pulling. You can't go wrong with all that. So, Jim, I think we're going to let you enjoy the rest of your evening up there in the sizzling hot Michigan area. And
I gotta get my shirt up here. Still got my old shirt yet from. Yeah, but
awesome. Well, that's great.
Just one other thing also I'd like to mention for anybody that's in competition or involved with NTPA, whatever, Ned Walliser, the president of WPI, will be here Saturday. He dropped off his tech trailer for NHRA here today, coming from Norwalk, and him and his wife are camping out in Michigan for the week. And he's coming back up Saturday, and he will be at our event also, which is quite an honor to me that, we get the head honcho to come of WPI to come up and witness a smaller event like this, to be there for us. And I'm really proud of that. So
awesome.
I'm grateful. So with that, you guys have a good night.
Well, thank you,
See you
Jim.
Saturday.
Thank you.
There you go, folks. Jim